iMove. And this session, what we're going to do, we're just going to, again, a little bit of grounding work, mobility work. First thing in the morning, we just got to eliminate those achy bits, relieve them, work on our core, and think about our extremities as well. In other words, what I'm saying is we're going to do a little bit of everything. Okay, so let's start. We have a poll in our session today. So let's think about your alignment. Bring your feet perfectly together, turn out 10 to 2, rise up, low down, so you are in neutral. I care more these days around the outside edges of the feet being in parallel rather than the inside edges, because our feet, they change as we age. Sadly, I'm saying bunions. Okay, once we've got that, I want you to think about the four corners of the foot, if you like. So think about inside, outside edge of the heels, inside, outside edge of the toes. And then I want you just to really spread your toes and try and get your foot flat. So the weight is equal between the front and the back. Now, to put that into context, what I'd like you to do is lean forward, relax your knees. Feet flat, lean backwards, feet flat, relax your knees and thighs. Let's do that a few more times. Just lean forward, and because you're using that pole just to lean on, what you might find is a little bit of a connection in your center at the same time. Okay, so then what we'd like to do is just lean to one side a little, and then to the other side. Ooh. Bit like the Solonian over the weekend. Okay, let's go flat foot again. Lean into me. Take your pole slightly further forward. Rest both hands on it. Try and relax your kneecaps because they will automatically tense, create some tension. Move back into the heels. Okay, so this is you. Now try that again. Come forward to me, close your eyes, relax your knees, use the pole just to stabilize you. Feet flat, try not to curl up your toes. Move backwards into your heels, relax your knee joints. Feet flat, nothing's moving, okay? Okay, so this time we rise up onto our big toes and down again. We're going to do that a handful of times, please. Spreading the toes, using the pole for a bit of support. And the pole, the support thing, you're going to get a tension on through your center when you do this. Lifting and lowering. Good job. Big toe. Lovely. And then from there, we're going to take one toe, 1 foot at a time. Repeat the movement, but take your time and then push the hip out. So rise, lower, push. Rise, lower, push. Okay, nice and tall, and a push out. Lovely, and a push out. So we're starting to get more of a stretch out of the hip. Heel down, push out. Okay, and as you push out, we're going to start introducing some other little movements. So opposite hand, so let's assume right hip's going out, left arm forward, lean and press. Switch sides, left hip out, right arm forward, lean and press. Push. So from an angle, so it's the opposite foot to hand. We're really working on pushing things out and back, stretching out through the armpit. So I quite like it doing like this. I'm feeling that much more of me is stretching out. Lovely. Last time. Well done. And then release. Good. Okay, so let's move to the left side of your mat. Take your pole out to the right, and we're just going to lean across. So it's a float and a balance. Stretch. Lovely. Just a little balance. Now, if you want to, create more of a star shape. Beautiful. Think about the lift, and if you want to, make it bigger each time. In a minute, I feel something needs to click. Well done, switch sides. Oh yeah, mobilizing you. So it's a lean and balance. A lean and balance. So the pole, you'll feel tension coming on through the arm. Lovely. Last time. And release. Hello, hips. So, we talked about off camera, talked about the center of the body. So I'm just going to say, just avoid diagonals and squashing for this session. But I want you to take the pole wide, hands onto the outside of the pole. Okay, shoulders down, neck long, arms high. Okay. Release. Now it's really interesting for me because on camera I can see if I'm off kilter. Long neck, shoulders down, take the pole high. Lovely. Now there's a difference. Pull it up again, draw your shoulders to your ears. Feels very different, right? Okay, keep the shoulders down, neck long, pole high. And then this time, what we're going to do is start to create a back bend, squeeze through the buttocks, eye gaze upwards. So you're forced into position by leaving your hands on the edges of the pole. Up and lengthen. And now we add on again. So this time we come into that extension and then contract through your abdominals to bring you upright before releasing the pole. So, pole comes up, we lean back, contract, squeeze through the buttocks, and then contract the abdominals to pull us back up. Lovely. Let's do that a few more times. Squeeze. So there's several things going on here. Hello, shoulders. And then release. Lovely. Okay, you take the pole into your right hand, thumb down. Okay, you're going to bring it across the whole of the body and your left with your palm upwards. Okay, from there, you grab the pole with your left arm. Okay, have a play with this, team. So this increases range of movement. We're stretching out and finding your sweet spot because your forearm can't go anywhere. So you're being governed with what's going on with your left hand. Enjoy that? Feel nice? Okay, we release. We take it around the head and repeat. So we're just going to keep going 360s. Around the head. Use your fingers to keep onto the pole. Okay, and now we switch direction. Feels like a lasso. The nice thing about this, by keeping the pole close to your body, you're really getting some gorge mobility into your shoulders. Last time. And then release. Well done. Okay, let's try it on the other side. So start with palm down, thumb down. Then we go around the body and you're left with the pole on the outside of the forearm. Then you grab, and then once again, use your right arm to manipulate where you're going here with this movement. Do what's comfortable for you. And again, it's always comes back to those sweet spots, those bits where you're like, not so sure. Lovely. Okay. Well done. And once again, we're taking it right the way around the body. Continue in the on continuous. Rotate around. Keeping the pole relatively close to the body. And then switch direction. Be aware the shoulders working, the elbows working. Such a cool thing. Well done. And then release. Excellent work, team. Okay, so I do want us to stretch out through the lats. So here, that's where we're stretching out. Arms forward, so straight arms, feet wide, and to start with, just rock your hips side to side. Start to elongate and lengthen, dropping your ears between your arms. Have a little play with this. Encouraging movement right the way through this. When you drop your shoulders, have a move of your hips side to side for a second, because this helps us just budge and get a little bit of movement in the sacroiliac joint, but really stretch out through the rib cage, which is such a nice thing. How's that feel? You all right? Good. Lovely. Okay, so far we've done lots of mobility in the upper body and the ankles. We haven't done enough with the hips, okay? So at this point, right hand to pole, left hand, we're just going to swing it for a minute. If I just change positions for you. So left will swing forward and back, forward and back. So it's a bent knee. So you're using the pole for your balance. So what if you bring in your arm here, so your arm is swinging in the opposite direction to your leg? Lovely. And release, switch sides, so left hand. Left leg is the static leg, swing the right. So it's a flex at the hip and then an extension at the hip. Swing in your arms. Lovely. Well done. So hopefully your bottom muscles are going, oh, hello. Okay. And then last time, using the pole in this position, up, out, in and down, same side. Repeat. 1, 2, 1 and down. Forward, sideways, forward and down. Forward, sideways. If you want to progress this, point, toe. It's not for everyone. We're still mobilizing. 2 and down. Last time. 1 and 2 and down. Switch sides. Well done. 1 and 2 and down. Good job. And down. 1, 2. And again, progress if you want to. What does a full leg look like? How does that feel on the rest of your body? Choose the thing that works for you. So it's important to get that range into the hips. We are going to do my version of squats later. Ooh. Well done. And then release. Okay, so if you can, I want you to see if you can take the bar behind your head. If that's too much, Chris, here, Okay. Wide base of support. We're going to just rotate through the body. So twist towards the right. Inhaling, coming back to center. Exhaling, twist to the left. Okay. That just gets you going. Find your own breath pattern that works for you. Then these changes come into play. Hips still, draw your legs closer, squeeze through the buttocks. As you rotate, keep the hips still. We're not going to be here much longer. Then, to release the back, as you come through to the midline, you lift your knee. So everything is now changing. So opposite knee to arm as you come through the midline. See how that feels. So again, quite a bit of fascia release here. If it's too much into the shoulders, change how you hold the bar, or just put your hands on your shoulders. Well done. Okay, so let's take the bar out of play for now. We're going to roll down. So if you want to grab a quick sip of water before we start, and then we'll look at some roll downs. As always, it's important just to keep hydrating. So, we're rolling down through the spine. The focus of this movement is here, right into your center. So as we roll down, we pull in. And as we roll up, we pull in, okay? So we're gonna think about here. Don't worry about anything else yet. Just focus on what's going on in the middle. This helps us be more spine safe. And it means that our abdominal muscles are contracting and controlling the movement pattern. Okay, so standing tall, beautiful sunflower, lovely and tall. You're starting to wilt, chin to chest. You start to roll down your spine, relax your shoulders fully. Allow your hands to drop and dangle. Taking your eye gaze through your knees and just relax there for a moment. Breath in. Draw your abdominals in to lift the trunk away from the floor. Roll your shoulders at the top of the move. Breath in. Exhaling, rolling down. Taking your time. Feel the stretch in the back. How do the knees feel? Where are the feet in alignment? Inhaling, exhaling, and rising to the top of the movement. Really put that focus into the center. So breathing in, exhaling, chin to chest, all the way down, drawing the abdominals in. This time, just shift your weight forward into your toes a little. Rock back into your heels and rise up. Roll your shoulders at the top of the movement. Breath in. Exhale. So it's this breath out. You suck in your abdominals, eye gaze through. Just walk your fingers forward a little. Rise up. So you can see there's a little bit of swiftness here today. Breath in, exhale, chin to chest. Roll down through the movement. Walk your fingers forward. Keep going, keep going. You're now on all fours. Hold it there for a moment. On all fours, this is definitely my favourite thing at the moment because lots and lots of conversations about wrists. Start to circle small circles because this is just about some wrist mobilization. And the reason why I'm saying there's lots of conversations around wrist joint, keep going. There is just so much going on at the moment. We spend so much time driving cars and working keyboards that our wrists, which are designed to flex, are losing that capability to flex. We don't enjoy putting weight into the wrists. Try now as you repeat this to really spread your fingers and focus on the index fingers. So try and get them to push downwards. Continue to circle. Now we're going to make this bigger. So all the way to the bottom, all the way right around to the front tips of your fingers, and just keep switching direction. Now to add on, curl your toes under your heels, repeat the same movement. So you can see and feel, pressing your index fingers into the ground, pressing your toes into the ground, that the whole body is reacting to this movement. Well done. Push back, curl toes under heels and stretch back into child's pose for a moment, just to give yourself a bit of a breather on your wrists. Stay there. Okay, so we're going to activate the back of the arm, and then from there we'll go into diagonal pointer. Okay, so stretching your arms forward, we roll through the spine, so that bit's important. There's a lovely stretch here. Nose beyond the hands, we lower down. Exhale to push up, sit back into child's pose, so there's a break each time. So we roll forward, breathing in to lower, breathing out to press away, and then roll out through the back. Enjoy how this feels, okay? So lovely hump through the spine, lowering down, pushing up on the out breath, rounding out through the back on the way back. So it's a nice feeling. It looks nice. It's firing up the back of the arms. We've got one more of these because I recognise we get tired here. Exhale. And then release. Good, good, good. Okay, so roll out your wrists, give yourself a minute. What I'd like us to do now is to focus on diagonal pointers. So I'm just going to change my line so you can see me, okay? Right, so box position, that's the first thing that's important here. So in box position, we're trying to engage our center, so we need to think about belly into backbone, press the toes down. For me, that's always the trigger. So by pushing my toes down, I can feel my core muscles contract. Toes remain curled under knees, and we're going to take the opposite arm to leg. Stretch it out, and I'm hoping that if you can see me, my hand, ear, shoulder, bottom, heel are the same height. Hold it there. Slowly bring it in, slowly transition. Now the slow is the magic word here, transition. Point through the toe, think about your alignment, nice and strong, hips squared off. Slowly release. Now let's make this more of a flow. Exhale, push away, inhale in as we reset. Curl toes. Remember to curl the toes under the heels each time. Bring it back in and reset. Well done. I'm just having a little look at you all, and you look good. This time, hold in that full lengthened position. So opposite arm to leg floating, and hold. And you're going to hold that for 10, 9. Curl those toes under the heels. 4, 3, 2, and slowly release. Switch sides. So we're opening up. Beautiful, and lengthening. Don't forget to curl the toes under the heels. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Well done. Sit back, give yourself a moment. We're not quite done with the wrists. Curl your toes under your heels, push up and back into downward dog. Just for a moment, because I just want us to engage the back side of the body. Relax through your knees. Just gently push back through your hands so you can really feel the stretch coming out of the knees, calves. Relax your kneecaps. Lovely. And your eye gaze is downwards rather than at your toenails. Lovely. Stay in there. Bring your feet nice and close together if you can. This will destabilize us, but also ground us. So really hold that position. Melting your heels towards the ground. Lovely breaths. Index fingers, can you just press them towards the ground a little bit more? So less weight out of the outside of the fingers and more weight into the center of the hand. Okay, so we are going to bend the knees. Take a breath. Exhale, so the knees come down towards the ground. Float, but don't touch the ground. Keep the knees squeezed together, breath in, exhale and push back into down dog. So we're coming in towards the ground with a bent knee. The knees float, so we're in a floating tabletop, and then we push back into down dog. Slowly lowering and hovering. Try to keep that control through the head so it's not dangling, and just repeat that for another 6 goes. Keeping the feet together, the knees together, long through the neck and spine. So I think we've got about 4 more to go from here. And once we finish that, team, we get to have a little rest. How do we do? Are we okay? Is this your last one? Yeah. Okay, so when you're ready, just roll out your wrists and go, oh, feeling all of that. Hopefully you should feel a nice bit of adrenaline. You're okay, wrists are okay. Thighs, because we're sat back on the thighs, are actually having a bit of a stretch out too. Lovely. When you're ready, let's just go into a full, grab a drink. And then we lie down flat, long on our back and have a lush stretch out. Everything matches in here today. I love this pinkness. So much nicer. Not that it was bad before, but we're all evolving, right? Okay, so we're in a full body stretch. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Okay. Turn your palms up at your side just for a moment, and I just want you to do 2 things. I want you to turn your bum on, give it a clench, and then turn it off. So tighten your butt muscles, really, really tight. Squeeze your thighs, squeeze your knees, and then relax it off. Let's do that one more time. So a lot of tension through the butt and thighs. Squeeze, 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 and then release. Good. Arms out wide to 3 and 9 o'clock. Bend your knees in towards your bottom, feet in neutral. Okay, so from there, we're just going to stretch out through the ribs. So it's important to keep the chest open and arms down. Let your knees drop to one side and then to the other. So the kneecaps, the inside of the knees touch. Just keep rocking from side to side, but keep the whole upper body down. Whole upper body is glued down. Just keep dropping the knees from one side in rhythm to the other side. Your focus is to try and push the knees closer to the ground, but let the knee inside of the thighs and knees stay connected. If that makes sense. So it's really interesting because I really feel the range on one side is easy on one side, the other side, not so much. Okay, we come back to center. Feet in neutral, knees bent. I'd like you to take your arms overhead and just relax them there. You may need to adjust your shoulder blades. Okay, and we're just going to rise up into a bridge. So we tuck the tail under, flatten off the back and come up, 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 up. Down, 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 down. You got it. Up, up. Lovely. So don't forget to squeeze through the buttocks, but also feel that contraction in your deep core muscles. Lovely. Okay. Now, today, you are going to lift your right leg up into half tabletop. And then for 4 repetitions, we're going to lift into bridge and lower out of bridge. So we slowly pull up. There's puppy fighting going on. Now your arms are rested overhead for a reason, and this just is to maintain and hold the scapula, the shoulder blades in place. But also you get some really good feedback here. So as much of you making contact with the ground, you get some really good sensory feedback to where you are, and you may feel a little bit off kilter. Foot down, switch sides. So we're going to repeat this again, right and left. So 4 lifts and 4 lowers. Breathe naturally and comfortably. Lovely. And then we switch again and see if it feels different. If you want to, you can take your arms out to 3 and 9 o'clock and see how that feels. So we lift up into bridge and down. Think about the flow of the spine. How do the hamstrings feel? Got 2 more on this side, and then we'll switch again to the other side. Last time. Settle down, foot down, lift foot, push up. I definitely have a favourite side. I don't know about you guys. Last time. Okay, draw your knees into chest and give yourself a hug. Lovely. So immobilise in the back, feeling that lovely space between the vertebra. So this time we're going to bring both feet into tabletop. So we're looking at 90 degree at the knee, 90 degree at the hip. This time with your hands at your side or slightly wider, we're just going to look to lift the bottom. Now this isn't for everyone. So it's essentially reverse curl. And then we're going to progress this. So you can hear it in my voice. We're working on lifting. Okay. So big contractions required here to lift the bottom. And some of you might start be bringing in momentum here. So you might feel a bit of a as you lift. That's fine too, okay? So it's a reverse curl. I feel that in my back, as in I feel it stretch in my lower back. It's good to press your hands down. There's no perfection here required, but what I want you to do is work your abdominals as you lift. So it's a lovely roll. And interestingly enough, it becomes easier with repetition, right? So you got 4 more to go. Feet down, soles connected, knees drop. So we open up through the knees and hips. And then palms up at your sides. What I want you to do for a second is just to rock side to side, but your knees, your soles of your feet are together. And I just want you to see if you can get your thighs down towards the mat. Keep your shoulders down on the mat. So upper body's relatively still. We're working on getting the outside of the knee, the outside of the lower limb to touch the ground on the right side, the left side, the right side, the left side. How's that feel? Notice any imbalances there? Bonkers, isn't it? Okay, right, bear with. Hands now change. We are looking to take the hands behind the head for a moment. The knees are still wide, the soles of the feet are together. Take a breath in. As you're breathing out, chin to chest, and you're starting to lift up through the center of your body. Got it? Lowering down, breath in, exhale, chin to chest, reach. You're going to be restricted. This will feel bonkers. Reach. Now we're going to see if we can bring a bit of a momentum into this movement. Inhale in and try and rock upwards. Now what I said to you was, with repetition, this might become easier. Until you bring yourself into a sit-up. Is that possible? So you roll down, exhale. Rolling down, momentum, exhale. And the trick is, well, it's not a trick. What's happening is, with your feet, soles of your feet together and your knees wide, you're working your deepest core muscles to create that lift, okay? Now, here's the thing, not everyone can do this, but work towards it. And don't take it personally. It's to do with spine length. It's to do with function of those core muscles, boob size, mass, leg size. It's really a personal thing. If you can do it into sit, great. If you can't, don't freak out. And what may happen is the opposite. Once you've nailed it, you might start to feel quite tired, and it also may hurt your coccyx, and we don't want that to happen. Let's do that one more time, and then we stretch out. Draw your knees together, just for a second, feet nice and wide. So let your knees drop in on each other. It's kind of like the opposite here, just relax. Okay, single leg stretch. So we start up in tabletop. Let's have a look at a higher level and see how the back is feeling. So I need you to really cope with and focus on your center. Right leg, as you extend the knee, you take it nice and high. Okay, so you're squeezing the belly of the thigh. Okay, bring that knee in. Let's repeat the other side. Breath in, exhale, stretch away. Lovely. So you should get nice lines doing this. Knees in, exhale, stretch away. Lovely. Send your hands towards the ceiling. Exhale, press away. Now, as you stretch your right leg, the left arm mirrors your right leg. So it's going overhead, but not to the floor. So you're just creating a nice line here. So the exhalation as you stretch it away, inhalation as you're drawing backwards. Now, if you want to start to look at the longer line, bringing your thumb towards the floor overhead, stretching through your leg. Well done. I'm just having a quick look at you all. Lovely. Last time, draw your knees to chest. Give yourself a moment, because this time we're going to straighten the legs towards the ceiling. Okay, so hands and feet to ceiling. Right arm, right leg down. Right arm, right leg up. Left arm, left leg down. Left arm, left leg up. Right arm. So, no, stop. You're not going overhead. Arms towards the ceiling. As your right arm comes down, your right hand comes towards your right hip and up. Left arm, left leg down and hand towards the hip. Lovely. Okay, now focus on a straight leg. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating. Okay, so we need 4 in total, 3 in total. And do you know what? If it's uncomfortable anywhere else, just reduce it, take the arms away or take the legs away, but find the thing that works for you. And rest. Whew. Are we okay? We are, grab a sip of water. I don't know about you, but I'm sweating. Are we okay? So, what I'm looking for now, you need to get up, you need to get over, and you're going to lie on your bellies. See how this feels, Sue? This is stretching. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is to just really break down Swan Dive, really. So feet slightly wider, and as a rule of thumb, if your toes are turned in, you tend to turn off your lower limbs a bit better. Elbows tucked in towards your ribs, spread your fingers. And what I'd like is just you to hold there and be comfortable there for a moment. Okay, now to activate your core, I want you to draw your belly in and lift your belly button off the ground and then your pubic bone, and then relax it back down. So it's a little move, there's not a lot going on here. So elbows directly underneath your shoulders. That's it, your shoulders. So your starting point, your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, and then it's a pull and a release. A slow pull up. This might give you a little bit of pleasure, releasing the back a little. And then what will happen from here, we're going to pull up and push back into a modified plank. So it's actually the top of the foot and the shin that's making contact with the ground. The elbows are anchoring you down. You're drawing up through your navel. Pulling in nice and tight for 8, 7, 6. You see, 2, 1, release down. Okay, so stretch out. If you can, right hand towards right ankle. Flex through right foot. Push down through your left hand and then push away with your leg. So that kind of brings us into a nice stretch there. Release, switch sides. So once again, if you can, left hand to left ankle. Did you hear my voice then? That was a struggle. Flex through the left ankle, roll your shoulder to open the chest, push the left leg away, and then push your right hand into the ground. Well done, and release. Okay, so rock your hips side to side. Let's just revisit scorpion. So we flex through the right foot, lift through the right thigh, and then bring it down onto the opposite side. Now at the moment, I'm just demonstrating, so try it and try having your hands in front of you rather than at 3 or 9 o'clock. So rest your hands at 12. It won't be as intense. But if your hands are wide at 3 and 9 o'clock, your boobs might get in the way. Find a thing that works for you, okay? It's difficult doing it in a small space. Well, you're all doing it in a small space. It's still one of my favourite moves. So, Pauline, how's that? Is that releasing you off? Hopefully that's nice for you. Right, good. So, and it's important to work on those glute stretches as well. So out of that, lovelies, what I'd like you to do is take your left knee forward and wiggle jiggle and straighten off your right leg. So pigeon pose in yoga, I suppose. So what I'm looking for, so Chris, you might be happier on your side, see how you feel, or up onto that front leg. And have a play with it. Again, very personal. Some people prefer their shin, lovely, if they've got that range in their knee, prefer their shin to be right in this lovely straight line in front of you. So what I want is a glute stretch out of this. And the best way to do that is to stretch forward. Then from there, you curl the toe under the heel, lift the back knee, and then push to get your head down, forehead to touch the mat. And it's actually that bent knee that you're really maximizing the stretch here. Now again, if you want to have a little play, so it might be a little wiggle jiggle here to find that sweet spot. And once you've got that sweet spot, breathe. Relax the knee, relax the foot. And then from here, just stretch your arms, same position, stretch your arms forward as far as you can. Well done. Rise up. Switch sides. Okie doke. So again, find the position that works for you, makes you feel comfortable and doesn't give you stress. That's what we want. We don't want to feel the stress. Okay, when you're ready, stretch forward. Curl back toes under back heels. Lift back knee and push to get your forehead on the floor. Breathe. Let it all go in the hip. Relax back knee and foot and stretch out the arms as far as you can. Okay, when you're ready, push up and sit back. Okay, so this is an internal stretch, so I'm still working on the glutes. So what I'd like you to do is to take your left foot and pop it on the outside of the right knee. Now, a couple of variations. If you want to, you can just pull it in and up. The knee will drop out to the side. Personally, I prefer the foot on the floor. Again, my boobs get in the way, my belly gets in the way, so it's not an easier stretch, but I really want to stretch out my glutes. So you can pull in with your arms, or if you want to, take your arm to the outside of the knee. Now that again might be a bit intense. So if your foot is relaxed, open up the chest. Okay, so we've got two things going on there. Okay, we undo and redo. So option one, let the knee drop. Relax your kneecap on the extended leg. And if you want to, open the chest. Option two, right foot to the outside of the left, look to rotate. If you want to, get your hand on the inside of the leg. I mean, that's so much easier for me, and I couldn't do that 6 months ago at all, as my hip just wouldn't play. So that's good. Eye gaze, turn away. So increase the stretch. Rotate, so it's quite powerful all around the body in either of those stretches. Whew. Well done, and release. Okay, now let's just have a look at landing forward somewhere, anywhere. So I want you for a second just to go long with your spine. Okay, feet slightly separated, long spine, just walk your fingertips forward a little. So you're long through the spine, we're not rounding, we're up, chest open, and just fingers will land somewhere. Okay. Now, adjust your hips so you can really feel like you're on the front side of your pelvis, still long through the spine. And then from there, fold. So you can just walk your hands forward, either inside or outside of your legs, and find a place that's comfortable for you. Another adaptation here is a bent knee and hold onto your ankles. So that's a nice one too, where you just pull forward. And then release. Good, 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 good. Okay, so when you're ready, rise up and roll down. Make yourself nice and comfortable. Okay, and close your eyes, settle down just for a minute. I'm just going to do some breathing exercises with you to help manage stress. So once you've gone long, go long. That's like a rugby thing, isn't it? Or American football thing. Go long. Okay. I want you, firstly, is to find the best way to relax your body. So, and we're going to start with a muscle contraction release. So, let's start in our lower limbs. Think about bunching up your feet and ankles, make them all tight, and let it go. Think about tension into your lower limbs and knees. Create that tension and that isolation. Contract. Let it go. So we're moving up towards the thighs. Feel that tension in your thighs and possibly your glutes now, so your bottom around the lower pelvis. Tension, and then let it go. And now we move up further. Feel that squeeze around the buttocks, the hips and waist, everything tight. And it's the waist, we need to let that go. And again, the tension starts on from the feet. It moves up the legs, limbs, into the chest. And you might start to feel it in your shoulders, all that tension and a bit of jaw clenching. And then let it go. Let's go again. But this time, as we do that, we take it up to the shoulders and down the arms, making fists. And then let it go. Okay, this time the whole body, face, fist, fingers. So bring it all in, all parts of you is tense, 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 bunched up, and then let it go. And the first thing to remember is that sometimes we carry stress in our bodies, and that's muscle contraction. Sometimes that presents around the belly area. So let's take our focus now into some long breaths and really try and let go. Just really relax out through the abdominals, really let that relax down into the pelvic floor. So feel the hips go, feel that sensation pass through where you're physically letting go of stress in the muscles. There's many things in life we can't control, but equally there are things we can control, and how we manifest stress in our bodies. To learn techniques where we can take tension out of muscles will have a direct influence on how we can manage our stress buckets. Now, as we focus on taking that muscle tension away from the body, now I need you to focus on breath into your belly. And it is important to take the tension out of the belly. Breathe in, let the belly swell, and then move away from the belly. So it's really important you got that rise and fall through the abdominals. And it's kind of like the opposite of everything we teach in the fitness part of our work, because it's always about locked and strong, engaged. Now we're letting it go. Really let all that tension go. By doing this, we trigger the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve plays on our rest and digest. It is the opposite to our fight and flight system. And it is really important that we take time out just to belly breathe, to reduce our stress. Because there's stress that you can control and stress that you can't. We are focusing on the stuff that we can control. So we're breathing, we've triggered the vagus nerve. So we are now starting to fully relax the body. We're relaxing the muscles by taking away contraction and relax. Good. Stinking thinking, there's another one here. We need to remind ourselves that we are amazing. And I know it's all relative, and some days are harder than others, and some days we feel better than others. And you know, we must remember that we can't pour from that empty cup, and that it is so important that you manage your stress and take some time out for yourself, for your self-care. We love at our best, at our premium, when our own levels are topped up. We care better when we have self-care, because you just need to feel good about yourself, and in order to do that you can feel better and love more. So it always starts with you. To remind yourself that each day, just a few minutes, muscle contraction release, breath to belly, and just really focus on those two things. Think about this moment. Now our levels are topping up. We need to ensure we're protected. And it's visualization, wrapping yourself up in your armour, thinking about how strong you are, protected you are. And remind yourself of you now. Once our levels are topped up and you're there, strong, protected, empowered, then we're ready. We are truly ready to be the very best that we can be today. And that kindness will pour out of you. You will give more, love more, fight more, win more. But you've got this. When you're ready, start to create some movement back to your fingers and toes. And in your own time, making your way up into a seated, relaxed position. Keep your eyes closed for a little while as you're readjusting. Take some long breaths. When you're ready, roll your shoulders, take your arms out nice and wide. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Bring your hands together into your center, and then give yourselves a round of applause. Well done, lovely people. I'm hoping that you feel better.